Hi, I'm Sandra Funk, interior design entrepreneur turned business strategist. You can find me helping designers confidently run their businesses and stand in their space. I created Design Zips to give you access to my proven methods so you can transform your business too. If you're looking to take control over your business for a life full of balance, abundance, and joy, you've come to the right place.
Okay, so this is a good question. Amber asks, with a growing team, I'm constantly running into workflow obstacles. How often do you pause and reset a process?
So any process that is actively being used in your business will naturally get refined as you go. So that's not to say that I stop and start over again, but in the flow of work, we will note, one of the recent ones we did? A scope creep was a recent one that was like so systematized. Like we went, you know what, every time we get increased scope, we need to remember to go all the way back to the beginning. We need to remember to go set a new budget, set a new timeline, and create an addendum to the contract to outline this new budget, the new timeline, the new scope. Because if you just slip it in under the rug, under the current timeline, scope, design agreement, budget, all of it, then it becomes a big pain in your booty. But additional work from an existing amazing client is always a good thing if you give yourself the time, space to do it. So we know this, right? But we didn't have it so clearly defined previously. And in the last couple of years here, that was one of the ones that we finally got like a really defined process. And I'm talking any little bit of scope creep. We go back to the beginning on that, and it really does help us stay right on track and or get paid for and have the timeline to do amazing work, even if it's added in later.
Do you find yourself creating exceptional design work, yet still struggle to run the back end of your business? If so, check out my signature program, the Interior Design Standard, to unlock all the tools needed to transform your design firm. Everything you need to run a profitable business all in one place, from contracts and pricing calculators to templates and scripts. Take the leap and join designers across the world raising the bar for our entire industry by enrolling in the Interior Design Standard.
I have to laugh because I don't feel complete until we've had a Topline meeting. Like the whole week hasn't started until we Topline. So this meeting is the whole team together. We go through everything high level, obviously, because we're trying to keep it to 1 hour, no more than. We try to touch on everything going on in the business at a high level. And we switched recently from me running it to each person who's responsible for the different areas running it, which is wonderful for me. Because I can be thinking about the whole thing instead of being in the moment talking about what's going on up there. So I like it from a strategic standpoint. Like I can be sitting back, and instead of me running it, I can be listening and thinking what else needs to happen and trigger something else, and I can kind of be scratching down notes on my noteboard. What happens though, we go through administrative items, HR, PR, we go through each individual client, and we're not getting into the nitty gritty. We're definitely not pulling over and having side conversations or really detailed conversations, but we're talking about date of the next meeting, any issues or concerns, what are the things that need to happen for us to move this forward from an entire team and scheduling perspective, who needs to be where when, we're talking about dates, and we're always referencing our overall pipeline in this meeting, which actually, as I'm saying this, I do think that should almost become like its own place in the meeting where Sarah Harris runs pipeline and just talks that through each time. So we know what is the next big presentation, second, third, fourth installs, who's going where, when, how, because that is what we live and breathe for, right? Is our client's next touch point is so important, and we're getting in front of them completely prepared, whether that's an install or a meeting or just a weekly site visit if there's construction on the job.
Yeah, no.
And then we go through each PC, right? Every potential client. We always say what is measured increases. So we code everyone's name so that if some random person walks into our office, they don't see their neighbor's name on our wall as a potential client or see their own name on the wall with the next meeting date or the issues that are open. It's all kind of coded. We know the client codes now, so by heart, but they don't see themselves on the board necessarily. But we go through each PC, we talk about where they are, what's happening, And giving them that attention, even energetically, is magnetic, right? It helps draw them towards us. We're talking about touch points. We're talking about who they know, who they got referred by. We're saying in front of the whole team, even though it's maybe not super relevant to one of the designers because it's a potential client and they're not on that job yet, but maybe they have a connection and there's a way that they know that person. So it's important to say some of these things, these intangibles out loud to keep drawing them toward you.
Hey, are you struggling to attract dream clients? Imagine confidently choosing who you work with rather than hoping that they find you. Introducing the Client Attraction Formula. The formula includes 6 comprehensive modules full of proven client attraction strategies, marketing templates, and resources, all with lifetime access, designed to help you attract your dream clients. If you're ready to go from unknown to irresistible, then the formula is for you.
Yes. Jen says, I'm having issues keeping my team efficient. Any suggestions?
Glenn?
Ken.
All right. Having a hard time keeping your team efficient. So the first thing with keeping your team efficient is making sure that they have plenty to do, right? That they can work autonomously without having to keep disrupting you for clarification, for next steps, to understand what they're supposed to be working on. So first and foremost is to have your systems and your processes completely documented and clarified. And then really train that team so that they can not just do a task here and a task there for you, but they can truly own a process within your firm, right? You're building towards autonomy, them being able to say, I run this section, this process, this thing, and I know how to do it day in and day out, backwards and forwards. And that comes from having beautifully documented systems.